What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Versus, episode 5. Hey, and last week, we started the franchise, and we're continuing with it. But before we get to that, I'm JWMaher. That's the virtuoso Will Cohen. Will, how are you feeling this week?
I'm doing a lot better than I was last week, where I was still recovering from strep throat. Now the only thing my only problem, aside from watching these films, is apparently I can no longer drink soda. Kind of a weird thing. All soda kind of tastes like either like just dull acid, or it just tastes weird. So
fair enough. Well, I'm still enjoying soda at the moment, but I should come back. That being said, last week we covered Dinosaur Hotel, a rich tapestry of all kinds of mythology, and the people at Jagged Edge spared no expense. They were like, "This is a world much like the MCU. We want to explore. We have a rich, just treasure trove of things we can draw from to expand upon the universe where dinosaurs live in." It was England in the first movie, but they've switched it to Colorado in this movie, and they kind of just like never minded that they were in England in the first movie. But regardless, we are talking about Dinosaur Hotel 2, the next level.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dinosaur Hotel. 20 hours of unrelenting entertainment and no-holds-barred barrage of violence. But there can only be one winner. Who will it be? Pick your favourite, place your bets, and do it now. The prize is going to be $10 million. What made you come back this season?
I had no choice.
And what do you mean by that? I don't control who lives and dies. I'm not God.
It's entertainment. We need to give the people what they want, and the regular format is not working anymore.
You're all going down.
I think he killed more contestants than the dinosaurs did.
I'm just giving them more of what they want to see.
This is the way the world is now. 3 million on Lily.
It's anybody's game, folks.
Somebody save us. I do love, I'm going to put this right up top, that there's clips from a movie that is not this movie, in this movie and in this trailer. So they took clips from a movie that is not part of this franchise and put them in this movie, and then they included those clips in this trailer. So I mean, do you want to talk
in the movie itself?
Yeah.
Not just the trailer, in the movie itself.
Yeah, so they took clips from Pterodactyl, not Pterodactyls, Pterodactyl, the original, and spliced those death scenes from Pterodactyl into Dinosaur Hotel 2 as if that universe, the continuity of that movie feeds into this movie. Those people they show dying are not even characters in the first Dinosaur Hotel. That's just a clusterfuck from the jump to save themselves, 75 cents in post-production? I don't understand. But how about you just jump right into how we've upped the ante here? Like, what makes Dinosaur Hotel 2 that much more?
So first, we have essentially a tournament of champions.
We have all the previous winners with us today. Cindy, Armageddon Flanagan. Eddie, the Snake Sunderland. Lara, Horror Preston. D. Dynamite Brian. Maya, Mastodon Months. Lexi, Wrecking Ball Winters. Sasha, Kalashnikov Romanov. And our first Dinosaur Hotel winner, Sienna Sunrise Woods.
Here, so everyone who everyone who has survived the last few seasons of this are now either willfully coming back because of more money, or they're being forced/blackmailed to come back. More on that later. Also, the prize money has jumped up astronomically from 25,000
100,000 British
pounds
pounds to
10 million US dollars.
yes.
Which is a leap, to say the least.
And the show goes from some seedy underground, closed circuit television thing being promoted over the dark web by the games master to now it's full on got a Jeff Probst host.
20 hours of unrelenting entertainment and no holds barred barrage of violence. But there can only be one winner.
It's being broadcast all over the place to the point that there's insider trading and millionaires are trying to shave points and rig the game.
3 million on Lily.
Yet again, we're just in a totally alternate judicial universe where this must just be, they just must let this go. This is the Running Man universe now.
Yeah. They could first of all, we have to talk about the larger elephant in the room here. The larger elephant is that somehow this is 12 years in the future.
Well, you figure Sienna won the first, even though when Sienna won, it was not the first cycle, because in the beginning of the movie where Sienna wins, there was at least one game before that, and it made it sound like there were multiple games before that. But Sienna is the first winner. Now we're in 2032, and every person who's won after her is now part of it. And apparently it's become not just dinosaurs trying to kill you. It's become battle royale for special ed children.
Oh, I don't need to tell you how tense this season has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I'm not even sure if battle royale is necessarily the correct term. This really falls more under the Hunger Games banner, simply because Hunger Games actually has creatures that will kill you.
Fair enough.
And so therefore, instead of what they call the mutts in the franchise that gave a shit, this one they just throw dinosaurs at you because no reason whatsoever.
And in this one, they throw a ton of dinosaurs. There's way more dinosaurs. We are back in the old. There's a ton of pterodactyls, and the weird thing is we see the house from Dinosaur Hotel 1 at the beginning and at the end of the movie. So they go to the house. And they're there for a grand total of 5 seconds, because then they're sent into a paintball compound. For the next 80 minutes.
Which, isn't that the same compound from Pterodactyl 2?
I'm sure
it looks very similar.
Some of the shots are definitely the same. I mean, they're borrowing enough from Pterodactyl. Why not have that there as well? Sure.
I guess so. Jesus.
Pterodactyl 2, I don't think they were ever really in a compound. They were at that cabin, and they were just in the woods surrounding the cabin. This is a brand new, for once, in the Jagged Edge, scenery scouting department. They've given it. I don't even know how they would have got. Honestly, this is shocking to me as a Dragon Edge connoisseur that they would be able to rent these sprawling brick ruins for the 3 days it took them to shot this movie, because it seems like a sprawling landscape for them.
It truly does. Or maybe they just found like the one guy who was like really clever at editing and making sure that like they were, they just recycled, different places and struck sets and made it look more bigger than it was. I don't know. Do I think that they actually gave that much of a shit? No. I'm surprised they gave this much of a shit, which is saying something, because for as much as they spent like on the landscape, they could have spent half of that budget hiring a competent writer, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, basically, I think they wanted this movie to coast just on the concept of like the Hunger Games Battle Royale. Like, we're going to have all the fun of Dinosaur Hotel, all the dinosaurs, but we're also going to just have a bunch of people come in and kill each other. And we're not going to do much about like characters. Everyone's character is just going to be they're from a country.
Woo! Take my picture, yeah. Yeah, this is the winner right here. Yes! Yes! I want to thank Nelson Mandela.
It's pretty much the way it works.
Except for the one dude who apparently his one trait is like over the top sociopath, who is the only one who's actually willing to kill the other contestants.
From the word go, you had the upper hand on all the other contestants.
I know how the game is played. I knew that going in. And I knew I had to find everyone else's weakness in order to win.
And when you did, how's your experience been since?
Non-stop. I've been itching to get back in there.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because the one girl from South Africa whose entire character is she can name Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu, she kills her. So she's obviously able to kill because she kills the girl to get there.
Do it.
Looks like I don't have to.
And then you have the I don't know, is she Russian? The girl who finds the katana and is just going like this. She's obviously willing to kill people because she chases Sienna in hopes to kill her.
I do, Sienna, dear. It's you or me. And from where I'm standing, it seems like it's going to be you.
But yeah, it's just like this movie is a clusterfuck. It's like it's so off the wall. And like I mean, I didn't rate this high just because I hate every Jagged Edge film, but I'm gonna give props to one man, Marcus Massey, who's in like a ton of these films. He is killing it as the host of the show.
Hey! So, we're going to have an exclusive interview as soon as she is washed up, stitched up, and dressed up. Right here, now. So don't go too far away from your screens. I'm Eddie Leary, and this is Dinosaur Hotel.
Like, absolutely killing it. It's overdone to the point that it becomes stupid, but like him as like a sleazy carnival barker is pretty good.
I mean, you could definitely tell that they wanted like the hybrid of Chandrasekhar and Sharlto Copley, and somehow they found it in Mark Massey.
Yeah,
and he is definitely the most entertaining thing of this movie for sure. Like, I'm actually like, especially since like you get to like delve into like his backstory. Like, they give him like an arc.
Yeah,
and
I'm not sure what that arc is, but there's definitely an arc.
Oh, sure, these ladies are hot. You know what I mean?
They definitely don't spell everything out for you, but there's something there that like by the end of the film it's like, oh, they're just gonna end it like every other.
They're definitely giving us a Dinosaur Hotel 3. I mean, his arc is, and just correct me if I'm wrong, we've already established we're in a world where not only does this game show exist, but it exists to the point that people are betting millions of dollars on the outcome of the show.
Oh yeah.
But he is going to whistle blow on this organization, which is clearly exists within a world where there are no laws, but he's going to whistle blow on them somehow. Because there's like layers. Like he answers both to the lady who's like doing insider trading and the faceless people that now own the show.
I've been working on this show for 4 years now. 4 years. And in that time, there have been some changes. Changes for the worse. I created this show. I created it with these blood-stained hands. And I'm tired of being a puppet for you.
Right, the people who bought the show from him.
He claims that he owned the show, but he wasn't a character in the first movie. Whatever. It's stupid.
Yeah, they're shoddy attempts at a continuity are almost laughable here, because you can see them just pulling strings as much as they can. They're just grasping at straws so hard, and they're failing at every turn. Like they're like just absolute, they're just making every absolute convenience to try and make this universe, and they're failing.
I love that when the woman who's like the millionaire who's trying to make money by insider trading and like getting inside information to bet on the show, like she loses $3 million at the beginning of the movie, and the front man character, whatever his name is, what's Mark Massey's character's name? Eddie is like, I don't control the dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything about it now. She's dead. I don't control who lives and dies. I'm not God. Yes, I understand, but I did everything I could from here. I'm not in control of those fucking animals.
But at the end of the movie, clearly somebody controls the dinosaurs because they just don't attack Sienna and Maya. The horn blows and they just walk away. So
Right.
No one controls the dinosaurs. Don't tell me no one controls the dinosaurs.
Yeah. And I don't like it. Again, I kind of feel like once again, the film would would make so much more sense if they just took like 3 seconds, just 3 seconds here, just to explain how the hell some of these things happen. Like, oh, I don't know, these 6 Nimrods being able to literally outrun 6 velociraptors at the very beginning of the film.
Well,
when velociraptors are easily the fastest dinosaur.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, one down. I hope you didn't have any money on Cindy.
The one girl who's had the most character development in the movie trips and falls and gets eaten, and like that's enough for everybody to just like get away, which I don't believe. I mean, I don't know any raptors personally, but I think that maybe they wouldn't give a shit. They would chase everybody else. And there's a lot of just like people running, and they run like 10 feet and turn a corner, and they've shaken the dinosaurs. Like dinosaurs don't turn around corners.
They don't turn around corners. They don't turn their heads. Half the times they'll see someone and just snap their jaw and stand there. It's like it's like these guys were like animated by the same guys who did the first draft of Alien Colonial Marines. It's like it's the same just dipshit nerf shit that we just complained about. It's like these are just NPCs with the piss poor programming. It's like we don't know what the hell's going on. I don't think the filmmakers know what's going on. I don't think they cared.
I will say this. Another small positive is in the first movie we had clearly fake guns. In this movie, there's a gun, but they're shooting the guy from so far away that I can't tell if the gun is fake or not. So good on that. And we have upgraded weapons like a katana, and then Sienna finds a field hockey stick. And that field hockey stick is like the most deadliest weapon in this movie because she totally disarms a dude with a gun with a field hockey stick. So like good on Jagged Edge for like, you know, promoting a sport that we only really care about here in Emmaus, Pennsylvania.
There you go. Oh man, there's so many weird things that happen in this movie. Like at one point, you know, Katana bitch as we see in the trailer, gets her hand bitten by a raptor, and somehow she still has her hand.
And then she gets to a gate that moves when she touches it. So she could walk through the gate. And there's a gigantic hole in the gate that she could climb through. But the dinosaur is coming at her, and she decides to fucking square up and like put up her dukes. And that fight lasts half a second.
What are you waiting for?
Like, why would you do that? And then why would you film it that way?
Yeah. This film has no concept of logic whatsoever. Again, this is one of the most laughable Jagged Edge films, and that's saying something. This is knowing full well that Medusa 2 is still out there somewhere fucking people's shit up. This is just terrible.
I mean, I love the trope in horror movies where like people can't run and they fall down, whatever. But in this movie, there's that one scene where the girl finds the car and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to take this car out of here." And then instead of just staying in the car, which is relatively safe, she gets out of the car, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex comes. And not only does she falls and like barrel rolls. And then just stays on. She's not even like sprawled out on the ground. She's like on her, like, you know, she's like crab walking. And she just stays there for like a long ass time. Like she doesn't even try to get up.
And nothing happens to her.
No, then the thing just eats her. Like,
oh, I'm thinking of a different scene then.
Yeah. There's definitely other scenes where people are just laying on the ground. It's like ridiculous. And there's like, people are like, everyone is promoted as a sociopath. Like, these are all killers, they're sociopaths. Yet there's like bonds being made. People are trusting each other. Like in the beginning of the movie, like the one dude, what's his name? Eddie. No, Eddie's the bad guy. Yeah, this guy is Jeremy the snake. Everyone knows this guy literally killed everyone on his episode of Dinosaur Hotel, right? But then everyone's like, "Oh, we could team up with this guy." And then he goes and tells the girl to be a lookout. And there's like a 2-3 minute long scene where he's just like beating the shit out of her. It's like someone in this movie hates women.
Be a shame if something happened to your pretty face.
Oh, you'd go out with a bang, didn't you, D-Dynamite? Well, today, you're going out with a whimper.
Well, not only that, but it's like you see it like first person, like him, like, you know, like from the girl's perspective, like her just getting the shit kicked out of him, and the things that he's saying are the most like sub grade school shit you are gonna hear. It's like, here comes the mongoose, is coming, and
The
here comes
python's going in and out.
This is the python who goes in and out, in and out.
and here comes the bear that's gonna choke you, and then and that's after all of this, then he finally throws her out the goddamn window.
Ever dreamed you could fly?
Plummets to her death, and she gets eaten. Like her corpse gets eaten. It's like, and then no one says boo about this.
Yeah. So after he beats her up and then throws her out the window, everyone's like, "Oh, this guy who they told us he was a sociopath. He's actually a sociopath. Holy shit! I wish somebody had warned us."
Well, and this complete, if they were going for if they were going for continuity, they massively failed here, because this was a huge no-no in the first film, that you could not do anything to the other contestants. You could help them, but you could never kill them. You could never do harm to them directly. And if you do, you pay the penalty. So why the hell is this all of a sudden acceptable now? They don't explain that. They don't, ratings. It's like,
the game has evolved. The game has evolved.
Yeah, anyway, evolved into dog shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's formulaic at this point. Like, everyone just kind of like, a raptor eats one girl, a pterodactyl eats another girl, a tyrannosaurus eats another girl. Then they're all killing each other, and then at the end, of course, the two girls who had their family members kidnapped, they survive. And
naturally,
Sienna goes through the gate, and her kids once again magically are just right fucking there. It's like it's mind blowing just how lazily they write these movies. But anyway, that's the whole goddamn movie. Whatever. Will, I know you've prepared us a drink for today, so let's just get on at that.
So so there's a few fun things with this drink that I must say up front. First of all, when looking at the recipe, this is clearly meant for a giant party. So if you want to make sure other people suffer with you, this is definitely your cocktail. Or you can just drink all of this yourself in order to get through these 80 minutes. This is very ironically called The Clever Girl, which is, again, ironic because A, the dinosaurs are dumb as shit, and B, you're just not seeing any clever girls in this whatsoever. So here's the recipe. This recipe is very simple, but it should be very effective. First, a 4-serving package of green Jello.
All right.
1 cup of boiling water, a half cup cold water, a half cup of vodka, which again leads me to believe this is going to be a big party punch bowl thing, and then sparkling white grape juice.
Are these Jello shots?
No, it's when you look at the picture, this was clearly meant to be for a Jurassic Park viewing party.
All right.
So it's supposed to be very.
So we're just mixing the Jello in there for texture, I guess.
Texture and color, yeah.
Fair enough.
So basically, it says place Jello mix in bowl, pour the boiling water on top of the mix, whisking for 2 minutes or until the gelatin is dissolved. Stir in the cold water and the vodka. Cover and refrigerate for 4 hours or until set. So I guess it is supposed to be.
These are like ghetto kamikaze Jello shots.
And then I love the way that they describe this. Use a fork to flake the Jello.
Flake the shit out of that Jello.
Add a half cup of Jello flakes. That sounds so goddamn terrible. To each glass. Top with sparkling white grape juice and mix with a straw. Note, the drink will turn totally green in about 10 minutes. So let it sit and keep stirring.
Oh, the jello is meant to be dissolved into it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There is, just to let you know, just for note, there is a kid-friendly version of this. We're not going to go into that because
Just take out the vodka. Put your kid-friendly version.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're sitting through this movie, you ain't doing the kid-friendly version. Let's be honest here.
I'll do our first drinking game of this. I would say take a sip of that drink anytime somebody says a line of dialogue where their character is just being developed by driving home what country that character is from.
Anytime you see raptors running or jumping, you're taking a drink.
Anytime someone takes refuge in a building that has large entrances that are not blocked off.
Anytime someone uses a weapon, uses a weapon to show off, and it does not end up well for them.
That's another good one. And I would say anytime Marcus Massey addresses crew members who are not on camera, who you never see.
Anytime anytime any dollar figure is mentioned.
Yes, and that's enough. That should be enough to level your drinks. But listen, if you enjoyed this, just so you know, they left us on a cliffhanger at the end, right? So there is a Dinosaur Hotel 3, and we will be watching Dinosaur Hotel 3 for next week. So come back for that. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. You can go to the Facebook group, Why We Love Horror. TikTok is below me, WWL Horror. Every Monday we got Versus. Every Thursday we got Why We Love Horror and Horror Headlines live on every platform. And every Friday, Why We Love Horror Trivia. Will, what else you got to say to the people before I drop this outro on them?
Do everything that John says, because we do this not for our health, but for you. So we're showing you love. Please show us some love.
Good enough.